DUBU taking it home with the draft itself. Excited to see how this first game goes. This is our first showing from this roster. Boyola, Cody, and Tasty Taco have high expectations for this roster. Significantly well-known players. Expect one of the favorites going into the division, let alone the league as a whole. So excited to see how they actually play out. It is no Uller ban. God, they said Uller? Ulla who? Ain't nobody worried about an Uller. Sir, Pookie, ma'am, queen. What are we going for? I don't know. So many titles. Tell me you've done it. Just tell me you've done it. That's all I want to know. I know in my heart you've done it. But like I need you to tell me you've done it, you know? Assume it's gonna be like that. Brett. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. Doesn't count. We have to punish the person who stole it. That's all I want to know. Just give me a name, you know. VIP. You're a mod. I can't give you VIPs. That's just a weird flex. Oh, we're just flexing. All right. Looking at builds. A double Thebes here for the Bronze Brawlers. A Blink for the Achilles is the big eye catcher for me when you start looking at relics. It's an interesting standout. I would like to know, this was banned, or not banned, this was adjusted or nerfed just a little bit in the patch. I was wondering if someone else on these ADCs are actually going to mess around to see if it is still as impactful. Maybe a feather, possibly for that auto attack leading into a decent fight. Purple is pulled by the Bronze Brawlers. Feeling good about this fight. Terra gets a nice double clap into a triple root. Do they have the damage to get first blood? They just need one more, and they do. First blood going to the Bronze Brawlers. Definitely a good start. Exactly what you want to see. Purple is still up. A first blood into purple. Prepping for wave minis. Possible red. Could be a big spike. They got to be careful on when they decide to make this back, though. They need to be healthy leading into red, not overextending, going for these minis. Terra gets set here. We did hit alt. Do they have the damage? A double alt dropped. On her alt through. Is it the second kill? He might have to jump for it. Is he willing to? Heavenly's used Blink by the Achilles to get out. It's just unfortunate. That is all three ultimates utilized and the pick not secured. I'm not sure if I'm thrilled or happy about it leading into red here. You got to make this quick. Ulu is half, though, so it should be secured. Achilles doesn't have Blink to really close this gap. They need to burn this quickly and get out. Terra's going to have to back off. Speed Johnson goes to... Oh, we didn't troll going for those. It is a little notable, and this will be an interesting test here. A double conduit gem versus a double axe for the record. I guess kind of glazed over that and didn't make note of it. Interesting to see the adjustments. Obviously, they've been on the aggressors, but decent. It's a decent note to look at the damage chart in general. So a small lead here. We got both neutral buffs, a first blood. Nothing to scoff at if you're the Bronze Brawlers for a nice little start. Chesters have spawned in these lower sections. You saw that by the light in the sky. We do have a Thebes already for this Chiron, mainly because he got the first blood gold. Take a quick little lead. Already right away here, kind of stagnated out since. Or gets a decent root. Uller misses the axe. Do we even have any real damage follow-up? Chiron confident enough to get a decent dash in. Should be the back for Terra, looking for that full Thebes. On her getting Ozzy. So all first items here. This will be decent, especially leading into this wave into purple. This next rotation of buffs, you have first items. Can they actually gain some pressure with some poke? Neither team pulling Chester down yet. Assuming the Achilles goes down to grab theirs. Good silence by the Chiron. Decent double root. Do they have the damage? Bacchus jumps in. On her getting some poke. Do they have enough? On her ulting through. Not enough damage. They actually do. I lie. The gem damage coming through. I thought that would have not actually killed, but it did. It's unfortunate. Yet another pick here going to this Chiron. Which is wild considering they did nerf his base damage. If I remember correctly, I'll pull a patch in between games on this Chiron pick. They are chefing it up right now. I would like to make note, they did fight into full first items versus not having the first item originally getting picked there. A little bit of misrecognition by DUBU, taking a fight that they shouldn't ever win. But yet another kill and both neutral buffs going down. Anything for you, Star Sample. Blue buff is up. Achilles is trying to wrap, looking for a steal. Uller gets decent poke. Charon shield coming through. Achilles is on blue. DUBU wants this fight. They're the healthier. Ozzy is procced only on her. DUBU was successful in invading. Should result in the Johnson as well. It's a decent lead considering you're only 6 minutes in. Can easily swing the other way. 1 or 2 kills in favor of DUBU. Achilles has a blink. You got to be really careful. They want to look for this engage into Achilles blink. There it is. Hits the shield bash immediately into an execution. Really good combo. Good CC based off that. Achilles should still go down though, and does. That is the right play that they made. They're trading 1 for 1. Achilles not really worth a ton, but getting some decent gold. Let's take a look at the spike. I guess it isn't as relevant when you look at it. They get the kill and immediately return it. So it's almost dead even with it when they lose that. It's a little unfortunate. Take a quick peek at leveling order here. I guess I didn't even register that Cody is off of DPS and on frontline. Interesting. I think that's a notable point. Chiron should get caught by the stun into an axe. Decent start for damage. Red is pulled. Uller did jump away. Can they out-secure this? Not willing to attempt it. They got minis off of it. Achilles is that blink. Bacchus has horrific. Terra gets the clap. Should lead into a red buff here. Surprised the on her willing to not give anything there that I feel like that could have been casted on. They are pulling red. This should easily be secured and is. Bronze Brawler's not willing to step forward. It's a small win here for DUBU, able to secure red buff. Make sure it doesn't get double rotated on her. Getting CC, gotta be careful. On her extends, gets the execution. Does he get out with it? He does. It's unfortunate. Neither tank able to step in between to get the body block. The on her also giving up beads. Hello, Timer. How are you, sir? I feel like, unfortunately, that's just a big misplay by the Bronze Brawlers. Bacchus is wrapping, Achilles doesn't have help, but Bacchus does. You gotta be really conscious. Both Guardian ults dropped. I'm interested to see, especially with these builds, what we elect to go. I would assume maybe 4th slot, get one more defense item, and drop a little bit of damage items here. That's what I love to hear, Pookie. Oh, you know I'm proud of you. I never doubted you for a second. Hey, yo. Hey, yo. No, you're gonna give chat the wrong idea. That's not what we're talking about. What the hell? Hey, okay. What's up, Nugs? A double blink. Bacchus, Achilles with a double blink engage leading into these fights. The response time by the Bronze Brawlers has to be clean to deal with this double. Either that or they have to be the aggressors, or Caroline has to be really active, keeping them in combat, or at least the blink split. The real question is, how do they do? I'm worried about how this Uller is feeling confident in free casting from range. Chesters are up for the lights in the sky. Uller are doing a really good job to make sure the on her can't back, keeping them engaged. You have one blink, it's the Bacchus. Bacchus does have alt. She jumps in. Achilles pulls minis. Red spawning now. Honor's just pathing in. Uller secures red. How's the fight after look? Akira on alt directly. Do we have the damage? Achilles forced to ult out. Uller's looking to fight back in. Gets a nice little one across the on her. I mean, Cody is kind of a multifaceted prodigy. You heard it here first, though. Ooh, the impale or pillar impale just getting sidestep would have been a nice little bit of poke on the Uller. I don't think it would have killed unless they had further cast, but good shot out regardless. You can't give up on that confidence. Should result in both neutral buffs as purple's just spawning to go to DUBU. DUBU who, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's gonna be so many jokes around that, by the way. I just slide on a complete side note, DUBU, like woohoo, DUBU, like go boohoo, Jamu. You'll make a meme out of that stuff. Conduit indeed did get buffed, so I think definitely this team is electing to try it out, give it a little shout out or cooking. It's significant enough to have that conversation, but how that actually looks in practice. Terra not able to connect that clap. Goes for the root, tanks a tower shot. We haven't seen the second relic here yet for the Achilles, but a double blink still. Both are available. Achilles doing really well to get on top of the on her. Bacchus follows up with a nice little leap. How does this look for the re-engage? Uller getting a 3 on the on her. Immediately into an ult. We have damage follow-up. On her ults through. Just not able to connect. that pillar impale, looking for a significant portion of damage. Instead, the Uller finds his own combo onto the on her. 3 just off the mark. I love the confidence by this Uller, feeling confident enough to step up, looking for it, finds that 3, however. Axe contacting the brute minion, Heavenly's used. Honor's gonna be forced to back up. You gotta be a little careful. You are in this 2v3 situation now. Yes, they might not be healthy, but you're gonna be the target of most of that offense, and they are. Horrific's used. We have this execution. This Charon has to be able to body block. Then it does. He finds it, but still goes down regardless due to the raw damage. The Honor steps back in lane from the speed and immediately gets axed one. Uller says, "Welcome back to the game." You gotta be careful. This Achilles does have blinked. We have the response time. Uller's on red. Charon backing now. Achilles pulls red. Or blue, excuse me. Proximity ward in hand for this on her. A 500 pop popped by this Uller. You're definitely looking for something, whether that's bull, possible pick into bull, or just straight running it down. Keep in mind, over the course, we had this decent lead in the beginning, immediately neutralized, and now a lead for themselves. Completely recovering most of what they had lost in the beginning. DUBU starting to find some of their footing. How we doing, Kushoa? Purple is pinged out. Only 2 members here. Achilles does have blink, so he can wrap. You've got to be really conscious for this engage. He is looking for it. Bacchus gets the flop in. 3 not reaching. Should result in an easy purple buff instead. The Bacchus looks for a blink. There's the Achilles blink as well. Aegis is down in the on her. He should still have jumped. Does he have the ability? Impales the Achilles away. Uller stepping in on her. Jumps away. Is he able to survive? Forced to ult for the CC immunity. Uller jumps into the tower. Instead, he kites back in. Terra getting a clap, but it's not enough damage with these 2 guards. The on her goes down. Not currently. We'll do it for next game, Fab. It's just not enough. We have to see some damage items right here by these guards to present any kind of safety. If their ADC goes down, do they have enough to find some trades? These 2 double frontliners are tanky enough. That's the only problem with going these builds and these characters. Your ADC goes down. What are you really going to find with these 2? So we just int at the ADC, picks the ADC, and it should be just GG. I appreciate you not saying, Kershaw. We will be watching that set directly after this one. Oh. Because this set is live. Next game, we can throw a prediction up, because it hasn't happened. What item would I suggest for the guards here? It's hard. Especially when you're playing a double guard, like who are you contacting more? Are you contacting the Uller, or are you contacting his tanks? Like if I'm contacting the tanks, you can talk about like an Ethereal or a Soul Reaver. If they have a ton of healing, you can look at a Divine. Like, what are you looking to do? Personally, especially considering how I'm playing, I probably would on the Charon. A flat pen into an either Ethereal or Soul Reaver. You have plenty of tankiness. You're going to need to be almost pseudo mage because he's going to be that range poke. But already, as I'm saying, that bull goes down. You're kind of getting chased down here. Dude, one day when I grow up, I just wanted to be like you, Febdul. One day. Uller securing bull and getting bird now, stepping in. Tablet wouldn't have been a bad idea either. The problem with doing that, you lose tankiness and possibly lose pressure with going at first item. It just delays into late game, but their scaling definitely would have been better. The on her gets full sent, just barely survives, forced to beads. It was a good beads to make sure he didn't get knocked up. But is it irrelevant? Terra gets a nice alt off. Gonna have some of that tankiness via the mitigations. Gets a good clap, forces beads. Uller just autoing her down. The re-engage gonna come through on her, finds the axe, but gets Aegis out for most of the damage. Uller jumps in. The on her is gonna be jumping into the Achilles' loving arms and goes down. That should result in game. Both guards are forced to back up. And more than enough damage coming through for DUBU. What we thought was a good lead for the Bronze Brawlers immediately recovered and ran down. I definitely think if you're going to go tablet in response to that, you're going on the Charon, who's going to be able to stack that much quicker with range, versus a Terra, who's got to connect those. It's going to be so much more awkward. I think was the word I'm looking for. But a GG. Game 1 goes to DUBU. Go into second game. Why I feel so weird to say DUBU, by the way. I always feel like as a Star Wars fanatic, or I used to be a Star Wars fanatic, because I think the new movies are terrible. I always think of Naboo. Cody typically plays with Star Sample and Lyre, or commonly Interdependence or Deet. Goes by many names. They're all legends. Regardless, they're a well-known 3-stack within the Joust community. We'll just go down in history, you know? So he's just one of those guys. Cody is Turtle. Is this Joust? It is. We got a big set directly after this one, too, to watch back. With the good old matchup between Paul and Kershaw. Ooh. God, we're waiting on that one. All right. But game number 2, DUBU up 1-0 on the set. Able to claw it back. Definitely wasn't an insurmountable lead, but I'm wondering if Bronze Brawlers can get off to that start in this game and immediately turn it into something more substantial where they can continue to build on that lead versus slowly watch it decay in front of them. Not really sure how I actually want to list this. It really just goes like that, right? Again, taking a quick peek at what these actually look like. You have a blink on the Shiva and the Sobek. I'm not really surprised by either the setup. Getting in there initially, some really good fight starters, if you will, leading into especially wave 1. Do either one of them elect to blink your Shiva? Not getting put in combat. He is hovering, hasn't really autoed yet. It's a decent knock-up on the honor. Sobek getting up an initial pluck right away. Geller with the big raid. I appreciate you, dude. Hopefully you're streaming well. Sobek getting a nice pluck on the Hoi, but the damage, it only looks like Bronze Brawlers are the ones that are worse for wear. I do think a big portion of that is the conduit. A big bounce here by Tasty Taco hitting the Atlas and the Sobek. This damage initially starting, I think a big portion of that is this conduit on this Atlas getting really poked out. If you're not the aggressors and you're on the back foot, you're going to lose this damage exchange. So purple secured. Going into wave minis here for DUBU. I wonder if they elect to back go minis. They're in 5 on 2 members because the Shiva backed off. They're not going to have T2s in preparation because they're just pathing back in. T2 on the Kuzenbo. Able to pull him back, but he's not going to be able to weave that for that pluck. Sobek plucking away the Shiva. Shiva should hit 5 off this wave, and does. Johnson dropping now, red spawned. Zimbo did get Johnson. Hoi not able to catch the dash. Sobek dashed himself, but they're grounded. This is going to turn into a decent fight, but isn't enough damage on her. Just passed straight out. It is notable that beads were forced. So red was secured by Bronze Brawlers, so neutral buff for neutral buff. But even with that, you immediately lost an important relic on her. So blue invade here. It is dead even. You got the neutral. They actually able to secure, save their own red. That is decently significant, however small that would have been, to regain a little bit of lead. Able to make sure that they stay relevant in this game. It's gonna be pretty close to looking for a back. Not yet, only 17. He needs one more wave, getting to that 1900. I'm assuming that's gonna be a dominance first item. Well, that is not what I would have expected at all. A gem into a sovereignty first item for the Atlas. Interesting. Not expectations at all. Dash by the Shiva to make sure he doesn't get pulled here. He pushed off with the on her impale to make sure that Bronze Brawlers are able to secure Johnson. That should result in Thieves. The Shiva wants to back for it. What's up, Dab? Purple is up. You know, one day when you become important enough... No, I can't even say that. Probably never gonna happen, Fab. I'm just gonna say, I'm just gonna call it what it is, big dog. Probably. Purple is secured by DUBU. Red spawning shortly. It's gonna be a wave red angle. It should be gain some of that pressure. Johnson's at both, or excuse me, Chester's at both choke points leading into red. Good pillar. That saves that block for the cruising bow. So back immediately in all. It's a good pillar, like it didn't block his. Oh, okay. I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't expecting that bounce to actually hit that angle, but Tasty Taco just built different with the amount of damage that he is putting out on this Hou-Yi. Even this early, Hou-Yi typically wants to hit those 3 items, if not 4 items spikes, before I start seeing some significant damage off these bounces. But Tasty Taco says, I don't need items, I'm just him. So back, gets a decent block. That is beads. Atlas dash gets caught on her ulting across. Kuzumba forced to ult. So all ultimates are down. How does this post-fight look? Hou-Yi feeling confident and healthy. Shiva does have blink. You got to be real careful here. He hits the bounce, gets some decent damage again. Shiva's got blink. Not willing to dive it under tower. Obviously, Bronze Brawler's being... I'm just kidding. Why do I even mention saying that? He is willing to dive under tower. But doesn't have the follow-up with this Hou-Yi. Like everything I'm saying is just immediately getting put down. I'm a little surprised by that blink. I know that we wanted it originally, especially when it came into lane. But without Hou-Yi cast or having the ability you're fighting into that wave, I don't think you ever really kill it, but I respect the attempt. Took a quick peek at leveling orders. Chester being stolen. He loves this bounce right here. And I feel like he's gotten somebody every time he's done it. It's notable, 3 health chalices, only 1 here, and a Raven ward here for the Sobek. Shiva is hovering. He doesn't have blink, but looking for a wrap. Good dash for the immunity frames or CC to get around the Atlas pull. Red's up. Houyi elects to pull purple. Should easily get that uncontested. Find a little time here. She goes into ult. It's on her for going to be forced to jump. Houyi just waiting to ult it post jump. On her decides to stay. Gets an amazing double bounce on this on her. Do they have the damage? They do. Atlas now the target. Tasty Taco feeling comfortable and confident on these ADCs between the Uller to the Houyi. He's not really missing. I'm not sure I'm thrilled here for the sovereignty into Glat. But I respect the attempt. A double breastplate for DUBU. Obviously both ADCs being that full damage character for both these teams. Sobek plucks the Shiva away from his on her to buy some time. Decent pull by the Atlas to get the Kuzenbo. Don't have enough damage. This on her does have Dom. Actually, should be going Kin's next item. Hits that Kin's is going to be a big go button here for Bronze Brawlers. That bounce contacts Sobek and on her. Johnson easily secured yet again. A big spike here was First Blood. Hasn't really done a ton with it since. Do they go Bulls? The real question. Yeah, they're backing. There's no notable spikes here outside of the Onher doesn't have beads. The Shiva is trying to create some separation for this Houyi to be able to pull Redhead. Fortunately, forced to back off of it. Kuzumo's pulled back, but the Onher's pushed in. He's got to be really careful. Kuzumo doing really well to buy him a ton of time and force him to stay in Houyi ult, but that should just be too much for him to deal with. Atlas eats the Nene for the Onher. Do they have the damage to turn this? They pull him back in, and it might return enough damage. The Shiva is tanking this up. Sobek forced to pluck away. I'm a little surprised by that engage going so poorly. Taco just hitting a nice little triple onto the Atlas. Obviously because all the FizzD, just not enough comes through with it. Sobek pluck for the secure. That is a rare thing to be able to say. Everyone's sending back, so I was wondering if Huli was going to actually send Bull. Breastplates for DUBU, both upgrading Glyph right away before even going into next item. Both blinks are up. It's a double horrific here for Bronze Brawlers. Ooh, Sobek really crushing that Nene just then. That Nene did as hell. Oh, he just pathing in. How are we doing, Sin? quite yet Kins for either one of these ADCs. Kind of the spike they're looking for, but a 2-level lead or a level and a half here for the Z. I'm good, dude. It's Friday night. I don't work tomorrow. Got plenty of games to watch. I'm a little surprised here. You gotta be real careful. On her is gonna be the target. Forced to jump away. Hou Yi easily autoing down the Sobek. Shiva ult down, I guess. Nothing really worse for where. Hold on. Sobek blinks in. I'm not really sure how to even commentate that. If you blink in, obviously not able to pluck because the rock's going to count as an object. So he's going to be able to pluck that. Hou Yi passed behind it. So just a blink ult. Not really finding any real value. Sobek's wrapping. There's the blink. They secure red, but does it cost them their guardians? It does. Atlas goes down comfortably for DUBU. Now the Shiva has blink. That's what I'm looking at. He's got to be that initial engage. No ultimates here. He's forced to jump away. Hou Yi easily autoing tower down. Do they have? They surely just send that damage, right? I'm a little surprised by the lack of willingness to really all in that Kuzenbo, especially all alts were down. Honor had all. Maybe they look for that a little bit more aggressively, but a little unfortunate that they're not able to really punish it. Should easily be a bull setup here. Z gonna go speed, wave, purple Johnson, wave, bull. I probably should stop commentating so far ahead, but instead feeling comfortable enough to make sure we secure Johnson. The death timers are pretty long on this map, which I kind of appreciate versus the shorter ones in last map with all the choke points. Make sure we don't have an eternal game on our hands. Playing Joust in that map and getting a 99-minute Joust game, trust me, I do not want to see that again. The on-her is being full sat. The bounce contacts the on-her. The patience on this Yi to make sure he is getting that big value. Kuzenbo buying time to kill. It turns into a 1-for-1. Does the on-her have the damage to be able to create that separation? Shiva doesn't have blink. However, that's beads. Good patience by the Sobek. Blink for beads. You're going to take that every time. Didn't even have to pluck in. This Yi doesn't have Ozzy pathing over to purple. He tries to pull bull. It should be an immediate 1v1 by the on-her and Hou Yi. Surely that will happen. Hou Yi sending back. Red just spawning now. I like this oboe third item, especially considering we have a double guard. Helps these guys with clear going into the next team fight. It's a full oboe for Hou Yi, though. Atlas has to be careful. Force the dash away. This is going to be that bull. Again, he does have Health Chalice, but he doesn't have Ozzy, so he's going to be forced to take this up. Keeping an eye on it while the other two tanks are zoning. Does put him a little low. Able to secure it without putting himself in too much of a detriment. Yi pathing in on her. Forced to jump out. Do they have the damage to follow it, though? Yi chunking down the Sobek to create some of that separation. Yi drops an ult. Do they have the damage between these guards to actually kill this, though? Shiva's just waiting. Good blink. Is it what the fight you need? Does he dash after? Really good discipline. Shiva able to secure the kill. The Kuzenbo Nene surely doesn't do him in, but the Shiva's wrapping should easily result in it. The bounce, not enough. Shiva doesn't have blink. He's got to pass straight. Does he hit the impale? Doesn't matter. Easily goes down. And a full deicide here for DUBU. Picking up the Bronze Brawlers. Nearest death timer, 20 plus seconds. DUBU looking at a nice, comfortable 2-0 win. Going in to their first set of the league. GG. What's up, Starboy? How are you, sir? GG Nabu. Nabu. I'm gonna keep calling it Nabu. Mentally I'm going DUBU, and I'm like, Nabu? No, it's not that at all.